everybody trying to be content creators and trying to go viral. You want to go viral?
Okay, you want to go viral. Let's go viral then.
Say let.
Let go.
Let's embrace it. Let's love it. Let's enjoy it. And let's give them the experience of their life. That's Roswell for you, baby. Come together. And guys, this is Speaking Out Loud. I appreciate you guys joining us. Don't forget to share and dance like you just don't care. It's early in the morning. Let's have a day. And like I said, be a friend. Tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Shout out PMS.
Good morning and welcome to Speaking Out Loud. I am your host, Rene Ruiz, and along with me is the man with the bice, the man with the tries, the one with the broad chest, the one, the only, Rene Borba.
What's going on?
Good morning, JB. It's a wonderful day coming out of Roswell, New Mexico. It is Wednesday, January 28th, 7:09 a.m. You're probably wondering why we started the show late again after we said we were going to kick it off at 6:30. Well, they canceled schools again. The roads aren't quite ready. They're still frozen, so buses can't move around. The Mr. Brian Luck posted out a video explaining why schools aren't running yet. Hopefully the kids can get back to school mañana and start moving those brains around. That's what's happening on our world locally. JB, how are we back to work? We're back to normal on your side?
Well, I just go in later. Yeah, I don't start at 8. I start at 9.
Let the sun come out just a little bit. As I look outside, you looked at the downtown view of Roswell, New Mexico. It looks good. It looks like they got at least Main Street pretty cleaned up, ready to roll. So shout out to those folks doing those things, all those city workers.
Nothing's happening.
Hondas.
They're not cleaning the roads. They sold all their equipment. They're just letting the snow melt and we just drive on the road.
Dude, hey, actually, me and Adrian were wondering that.
Shame on our city.
Adria asked me yesterday. She's just like, yo, no, hey, legit, real conversation. Adria asked me yesterday. She's like, hey, I wonder if the city just waited for things to melt. Because normally, like, I went into Ruidoso and, normally whenever they clean off the roads, you'll see like piles of snow on the side. And we haven't seen any in Roswell. And she was just like, hey, I don't know if I'm just being picky or like, or like complaining, or like, does our city kind of suck? And
No, yeah,
and I was backing up the city. I was like, nah, they probably put down salt everywhere. Because if you notice, Main
there was
Street,
some salt. Yeah, there was some salt, but they sold other equipment like the snow plows and stuff. They sold it because they don't use it. So
because this
we have
stuff
some
doesn't
salt,
come
that's
very
all.
often, so it feels like we could just push those expenses elsewhere. Where else
I
are
don't
those?
see why can't we have one truck? We can't have one snow plow?
At least one, you would think, right?
Yeah, dude.
No school for 3 days is kind of wild.
Yeah, just because
of
of
the
the
road.
roads. And it's our fault. It's the city's fault that the roads aren't clean.
Yeah, it's kind of gnarly. Maybe we could do a little bit of digging into that world. It is interesting though when you start asking questions about where some of this stuff is going. But maybe we just need to get more involved. They do have city council meetings where we can go and try and make a difference, or we can be involved more with the city just in general. Maybe that's in the horizon for our beautiful little show, JB. Or maybe we can broadcast something for what used to be known as Hike and Spike and now known as Sling It and Fling It. Maybe you'll see us out there doing a little bit of content. That'll be coming Memorial Day weekend, but that's just chatter right now. Just chatter, just throwing stuff at the wall and hoping that it lands, JB. But today, we're going to talk about the NFL world. There was a couple hires that happened yesterday and the day before, starting off with Mike McCarthy being hired as the Pittsburgh Steelers head coach and following by Joe Brady, the offensive coordinator for the Bills, being elevated to the head coaching position. Big Mike McCarthy had a very emotional, very, very emotional press conference yesterday, JB. You care to listen in?
Sure.
All right, well, let's go over there to Pittsburgh to see what this good old man has to say. Shout out Big Mike, yo. Big Mike losing his job with the Dallas Cowboys, formerly known as the Super Bowl champion with the Green Bay Packers, has had success with Aaron Rodgers and Dak Prescott. He is known as an offensive guru, but is that just of old or is that of new? We are going to find out. It's TBD, but let's listen into this emotional press conference.
All right, here we go. Thank you, Art. I think I thought at least be able to get started. Oftentimes coaches and players you put on new team colors, and it takes a minute to feel comfortable in those new colors. But to be blessed beyond any measure, one day to put on the colors you wore since you brought home. I apologize. Brett, I told you not to sit my family down here in front. This is so unfair. When you come home from Mercy Hospital, I do want to thank Art Rooney, Omar Khan, Dan Rooney, and the entire Steelers organization for the trust they placed in me to represent one of the most storied franchises in all of sports. I understand and embrace the responsibility, the privilege, and the weight that comes with this stewardship. This city, this franchise, this fan base means the world to me because Pittsburgh's my world, and it's just awesome to be back here. I do want to thank two men I'm very fortunate to call friends, Mike Tomlin and Bill Cowher. They've represented this organization with such class, and I'm honored to follow in their footsteps. They left the proverbial cupboard full, for sure. My family, my loves, my wife Jessica, kids Alex and Danny, Jack, George, Gabby, and Izzy, my parents, Joe and Ellen McCarthy, my sisters, Kelly, Ellen, and Colleen, and the crew that's here. We can finally openly wear our Steelers swag. So
We got 15
let's get it.
seconds here.
My heart is full. My focus is singular, and it's time to bring another championship back to this great city. And with that, I just want to make sure that when we do get that trophy, that the 7th trophy in the case, we'll start that victory parade at 1137 Greenfoot Avenue. So with
1137 Greenfoot Avenue.
Thank you,
JB.
Art.
What you know about that?
What?
Well, don't look so enthused. That was Big Mike just pouring his heart out. What are we doing here? Look at E-Rob in the comments. What an accomplishment to be a head coach of three of the most historic, iconic NFL teams in Green Bay, Dallas, and now the Pittsburgh Steelers, JB. Have a little enthusiasm for the GOAT right here. Or not the GOAT, my bad. Let's relax a little bit. But yeah, Big Mike, come on, man. Hey, shout out Big Mike. Made me just a bit emotional listening to that. It sounds like he's finally home to his roots. And he's excited about possibly bringing over a championship to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, you probably saw this hire, or a lot of the reactions that I saw from Max was like, it's good old Mike Tomlin. It's just the white version of Mike Tomlin. And it's like, I don't know. This guy actually calls the plays. This is an offensive coordinator that whenever he was in Dallas, we did have a bunch of success. Top five offense the time that he was there. Seemed to really brush up a lot of things that I would say he elevated Dak Prescott. So I think if anything, if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, you're kind of looking at this more or less as okay, we got some hope offensively, and maybe he can build on Will Howard, who was their rookie draft pick from last year, who was backed up Aaron Rodgers. So maybe he can develop him, and I'm assuming they'll probably bring in a veteran quarterback at least for one more year. But I think if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, I think you should be excited, especially what was out, what the options were that were out there. I think landing Big Mike McCarthy is a solid W, and I personally, I mean, after watching that interview, like the one thing you want is someone that has passion, has love for the city, and that's going to be completely 100% involved and sold on their team. And I think that's what you're going to get with Big Mike McCarthy here, JB.
I think it's an all right hire. I don't see nothing special about it. I think the purpose of why Mike McCarthy was brought in, is he a huge ceiling guy that's going to do things that Mike Tomlin didn't do? I don't think so. I think his main purpose of what he was brought in for is to help develop a quarterback and to stabilize the offense that has been struggling for years now since Roethlisberger's been retired. They have not had the same offense. They have not had a quarterback. So I think the whole purpose of McCarthy is to stabilize the franchise, bring in a quarterback, either if that's Will Howard, or I think it's going to be somebody that they draft. Whether it's this year or next year, I think you got to go through a bad season, but I don't know if this organization they don't like to tank. So, they don't like to have a bad year. They like to be competitive every year. So it's going to be interesting to see how that unfolds in the future. But I think his whole purpose is to stabilize the offense, develop a young quarterback, and then go from there, and then build that relationship where you have that. I don't think I think it's a little bit interesting based on like his age and stuff. Pittsburgh keeps guys around a long time, long tenured coaches, and he's a little bit older. I don't know if this is a 3 to 4 year thing, maybe 5 year thing, or if it's going to last 10 years. I think if it's a W if it lasts 10 years. I think if it's 4 or 5 years. I don't know. If it's 3 or 4 years, I would give him 4 years. I feel like 4 years, that'll be enough to, play this year out, and then you get a quarterback next season, and then you have 3 years for that quarterback. And if it doesn't pan out, I think he might be gone. But I think it's for the offense. The offense has been a major issue the last 5 years or so. So I think that's why you bring in an offensive guy, a guy that can help develop a young quarterback and stabilize that offense and be able to get players offensively, because that's what it seems like they've struggled in. They've struggled to get any wide receivers in the draft. They got Pickens. What do they do? They let him go. You get DK Metcalf. Obviously, he needs help as I don't know if you call him a wide receiver one, but he needs help. You need help in the running game. So I think that's why you bring in McCarthy, to help stabilize that, and then get
Yeah, for
younger on
sure.
defense. So
Which which to me, I mean, I think ultimately that's going to lead to a little bit more success. I think you're going to be excited because of the firepower that he can bring offensively. I mean, you look at the AFC JB, and it's like everybody has a quarterback. Everybody has some sort of offense. I mean, even look at the Broncos, for as much criticism as we had on Bo Nix. Like when that offense was moving, if they can find any level of consistency, like that thing, it's like the Warriors in every city out there on the AFC side. Like this team can just put all these teams can just put up points. It's just a matter of consistency on that side, and because of the inconsistency, it feels like Big Mike can come in and really make some changes out there in Pittsburgh right away, immediately. Now that raises a question: is it a possibility that maybe Aaron Rodgers makes his brings that 43-year-old body or 42-year-old body back to Pittsburgh to make one last run with the good old Mike, Big Mike. What do you think of Aaron Rodgers maybe coming back? That's a fun story to think about, right? That's cool.
yeah,
Kumbaya, two ex lovers coming back together to maybe give the biggest gift of all time to a city that seems like they just absolutely love and fit in perfectly with.
I don't know. I don't think Rodgers wants to go back. I think it's too much. I think it's too much. I don't think you win in Pittsburgh next year, and if Rodgers is there or not. So I don't think you are turned into a contender. I don't think that's the case. So I think Rodgers wants to go where he can seriously be a contender. And if he does even want to come back, that's one of the things. Like we're not going to. Rodgers isn't going to have a decision for months. We're not going to hear from Aaron Rodgers in months. Who knows what's going to happen? So, but I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah.
I
You
really.
know, I don't think Aaron Rodgers has the leash that he used to. Like, I don't know if Aaron Rodgers can just sit out until June again and wait to make a decision. Like, I think this year it's going to be a little more rush because teams want to start putting together their programs for the offseason. I don't know if Aaron Rodgers has that same leash this year. Now, will Aaron Rodgers maybe wait and come and save an organization midseason? That's a possibility, but I don't know that a team is going out there this summer and or this offseason and thinking to themselves like, "Oh, we're gonna wait on Aaron Rodgers' decision." I mean, you look back at Pittsburgh's decision making whenever Aaron Rodgers was trying to figure out where he wanted to go, and he made them wait quite some time, right? Even the Jets had to wait quite some time before he came into training camp. I don't think that leash is going to happen, so I think we'll get decisions from teams pretty quick on what quarterbacks they want to move forward with and what coaches. I mean, these coaching spots should be getting hired here pretty soon. I'm assuming some of these teams, like the Raiders, are probably waiting for Seattle and the Patriots Super Bowl game to end, so that way Clint Kubiak can make his way to one of these cities. From what I'm hearing, it sounds like it's the Las Vegas Raiders. Are you hearing anything different or reading anything different? I should say.
I know he's gonna have a couple interviews lined up. Who knows? So for all the vacancies, so he's probably one of the last hot names to come out. So I'm not too sure. I don't know where he's gonna land. I don't know if he lands in Las Vegas, but we'll see.
You
I'm
know
not too
what?
sure.
I will say this though: if I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, like what I'm thinking in my head is, I don't want Aaron Rodgers back. Let's run this with Will Howard. If we have success, awesome. We have a quarterback coming out from Ohio State and Will Howard. If it doesn't work out, guess what? We look into the draft. We have probably a top 10 pick the following year, and then you look forward to the future. That's what I think that Pittsburgh is going with. If you really want to make some changes, that's what you do. You don't bring in some old fart. You kind of just play with what you got. You got the what they got hell of money spent on the defensive side of the ball. So allow Mike McCarthy to use his brain and get you a couple wins and develop this Will Howard guy. Imagine if Will Howard is the guy. Like Pittsburgh all of a sudden is all the way back. You know what I mean? And then we're
Yeah.
gonna think to ourselves, we're gonna go back. This is what sucks. Any type of success that Pittsburgh has, it's gonna pile on to what Mike Tomlin wasn't able to accomplish in the last so many years, especially with like the allegations that are starting to come out. They're just allegations, so we won't speak on them. But like, if all that stuff is true, which I think if you go and just do a simple Google search, type in Mike Tomlin accusations, and you'll see exactly what we're talking about. But if that stuff starts to come true and come out and stuff, it's probably gonna be a good day for Pittsburgh Steelers fans. So kudos to them, man. But another hire. This guy was just elevated from the offensive coordinator position. The Bills fired their former head coach, Sean McDermott. They felt like it was his fault. They felt like he was the reason why that team wasn't getting over the hump necessarily. So they went over and said, where did we have success? Oh, look, it's our offense. Of course, let's just elevate this gentleman. Damn, man, I can't speak. I'm so sorry. Joe Brady, the official head coach of the Buffalo Bills, JB. Whenever you saw this, what was your initial reaction?
I don't mind it. I think Joe Brady's a good offensive coordinator. My only thing is that he's been with the team for 4 years, and if you're firing McDermott for not getting over the hump, this guy's been here for 4 years and he hasn't helped. He's been
But
here for,
he's called plays for two.
but he's been in the building for 4 years.
Before
Ultimately,
him was Ken Dorsey.
yeah, I understand that. It's just you've been in the building for 4 years. It's not a new face. You necessarily, it was a guy that obviously McDermott had a decision, and he was part of that decision making to bring in Joe Brady, or to elevate Joe Brady to the offensive coordinator. It's just he's part of. I don't want to say part of the issue, but if you're getting rid of McDermott for not getting you over the hump, then that's my only thing is Joe Brady going to get you over the hump? A guy that's been there for 4 years in the locker room and the team knows him. There's guys that know him. He wasn't a part of like certain games, like when they lost to the Chiefs, I think with like 13 seconds left. He was not a part of the team back then. So as far as like, I don't know. I just think the Bills GM, I think these dudes don't know football at all. I think they're one of the worst when
Brandon
it comes to.
Bean. Don't
Huh?
okay. I said
Yeah,
Brandon
I
Bean,
just
don't
think
know ball.
they're one
Okay.
of the worst. Like I don't know. I didn't like the interview that they had. I think they're one of the worst football knowledgeable dudes in any sort of like management position. So, and I mean, I've heard podcasts, I've listened to other things where it's just so many questionable decisions, and these are from former players. Questionable decisions as to who they bring in and who they let go and things like that. So for me, I mean Joe Brady, I think he's a good offensive coordinator. It's just the only kickback to that is like he was here for 4 years and he is part of that whole staff. They haven't obviously gotten over the hump, so it's like you hire a guy from within. You think a guy from within is going to bring you over the hump, maybe, but it's a
Yeah.
risk. It's a risk. So I don't know. I don't know. For me, I don't mind it, but that's a kickback that you could say. Like there could be one end that's like, oh
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
he's
for
the one
sure, for
calling the
sure.
offense. Like I still think with Joe Brady, you win 10, 11, 12 games. I think that's not going to change. So because you got Josh Allen and the offense is going to move through Josh Allen, but I think through there, are you going to get over the hump? I don't know. That's just
Well, yeah,
my whole thing.
well, I think what we said after they lost to the Denver Broncos in the playoffs this season, I think the first thing we said is like Josh Allen is just too good for his own good. Like you almost got to hold him back just a little bit. You got to do what the Chiefs did with Patrick Mahomes, right? Make him more of a game manager when it's required, and when we need you to be Superman, we'll allow you to be Superman. But sometimes we are too good for our own good. JB, when I saw this hire, I thought to myself like, uh, I thought the same thing. I'm like, you would think you would want a new face in the locker room, but It is a new sound. At the very least, it's at least a new sound. And whenever Joe Brady did take over play calling, this is when Mr. Cook he started cooking. They started running the ball more, kind of not putting as much pressure on Josh Allen. I would
Yeah.
say he got Cook paid. And Joe Brady has really shown that this team doesn't necessarily just need to throw the ball; they can also run it. Now the issue is, can they get weapons in that locker room? That's going to come down to the salary cap gymnastics. That's going to be more pointed towards Brandon Beam. What kind of talent can you bring into Buffalo that can be an addition to Josh Allen? I mean, they swung and missed on Keon Coleman. Then you saw the press conference that they had last week, where Keon Coleman's just catching strays from the owner. So that's probably not going to help the situation out in the wide receiver room. So what moves do the Buffalo Bills make next? I like the hire. Now it's just, what talent are you going to bring in to assist? Because you can't trot out the same. You can't take another note from the Jerry Jones playbook and go out there and start off the season and tell us that this is the roster that you believe in. Like, there's no way. You can't go out and do the same thing. That's exactly what they did this previous year. You got to bring this dude in some weapons. I don't care what you think about AJ Brown. That's someone that should at least be in the conversation. If your fan base doesn't see something like that within the next couple of weeks, I'm already probably losing my shit on Brandon Beam. I think ultimately, at the end of the day, if someone has to prove anything, it's the GM for the Buffalo Bills. What have you done for me lately? And how much of Josh Allen is he just going to cover your ass? That's really what it comes down to for me, JB. But ultimately, I do like the hire. And while we're getting a little hot and bothered, might as well just get a little more hot. JB, yesterday we talked about the Pro Bowl, Shador Sanders being named to it, right? We are like, is this fugazi? Is this a bunch of does the Pro Bowl mean anything anymore? Whenever we have conversations, whenever we debate whether or not this person is better than this guy, will the Pro Bowls ever come up in the conversation at all? Because do they mean anything anymore? Well, they're turning our Pro Bowl into a gimmick as it is now. I mean, there's damn near not even a Pro Bowl game. And then they want to now make a joke of the Hall of Fame. Reported by Adam Schefter yesterday, Bill Belichick, the 8-time Super Bowl winning head coach, is not a first ballot Hall of Famer, per Seth Wickersham and DVN Jr. Not sure exactly who those gentlemen are, but they sound important, especially if they're able to report on the fact that Bill Belichick is not a first ballot Hall of Famer. Belichick fell short of the 40 out of the 50 votes needed for induction to the Pro Bowl Hall of Fame in his first year of eligibility. JB, when I saw this, I mean, I just thought right away, like, they're making a joke of the Pro Bowl. Now we're going to make a joke of the Hall of Fame. This is Bill Belichick we're talking about. I mean, we're talking about a guy that in every barbershop, in every bar, in every living room, in any conversation about football, this guy's being talked about as one of the greatest GMs and head coaches together, two hats in one. JB, that's insane. And this man isn't going to be this. This is not a first ballot Hall of Famer. Are you kidding me right now? What was your thoughts whenever you saw this news break yesterday?
So man,
Okay, go ahead.
you can go about this like you can be the good guy, say, "Oh, I can't believe he didn't get in," blah blah.
I
But
like
this
that.
is exactly what I was talking about. I think it was yesterday. I was like, this is the Patriots, the one loser out of the Patriots making the Super Bowl, you know, uh, for the first time in what, like 7 years? I think
Yep.
2018 might have been their last appearance. Um, and then you fire Belichick in 2020. Uh,
Mhm.
you bring in the other linebacker, Gerard Mayo. That doesn't work as head coach. You bring in Vrabel. I think the biggest loss for this team making it back to the Super Bowl is Bill Belichick, because it shows, Bill, man, how much did you rely on Tom Brady? How much did you rely on a lot of those great defenses that you had to carry you? So we saw what he did with Mac Jones, and you make it to the playoffs, and then from there it's just all downhill from there. And I don't know if that affected his first round, legitimacy as a Hall of Fame, first ballot Hall of Famer, or like what the Patriots did, kind of was a big loss. Like I don't know. I don't know. For me, I feel like he should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I mean, you got so many Super Bowl rings. You've been a great defensive minded coaches, one of the best defensive coaches of all time. It's just, man, like that. They're like, I feel like the people who vote on this do not respect. They're like, no, Brady carried you to these Super Bowls. For me, it shows that they don't respect Bill Belichick is one of the best head coaches of all time. And I can see, the kickback to that is like, I can kind of agree with it because look at what New England's doing so quickly after you get rid of Belichick, who just fumbled the whole team after Brady left. Maybe it was just like the mindset wasn't there anymore. Who knows? Who knows? But to
Yeah,
be in
but
the Super Bowl with a whole new staff,
to me, I don't think you should judge it based off of that. Like, are we just
I don't
going to
know.
forget everything that he did before that?
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's a lot of like even players. Like, you can kind of throw players like a Troy Aikman into the conversation. Like, is he really a Hall of Famer? But like, just based off of stats. But like, I understand. I understand. Like, you got the Super Bowls. You got the resume. You've done it. You've been there. You've accomplished these goals. Like, you have like what 7, 8 Super Bowl rings. Like, you should be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
So
no, yeah, they're treating this guy like some DEI hire right
I
now.
don't. Yeah,
This is crazy.
I don't know who made it
It's
over him, like,
crazy.
as far as, like, a coach. I don't know. I haven't looked at the finalists, the people who've made it. So, I don't know, um, exactly who made it from, like, a head coaching standpoint because I
Yeah.
think you have to get
Hey,
in.
Jay, the producer. Can you find that out for us? What other head coach has been put in?
Or the whole
Yep.
list in
Okay.
general. The whole list in general, because I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the whole list. I was pretty busy yesterday. But, yeah, just show
Oh,
the whole list
yesterday
because
was
I
a
know you
big
gotta
one.
have current players, you have to have a old school player, something like that, a coach. I'm not I forget, but yeah, something like
Well,
that.
while
So,
Jay pulls that up, is there a couple of the reactions around the NFL world that happened yesterday? Let's read them out loud, JB. Julian Edelman hit him with the shake my head.
of course.
LeBron James made his
Of course.
appearance. Man, there's no way I read that right. Right? Ain't no way Bill Belichick ain't first ballot Hall of Famer. That's impossible. Egregious and quite frankly disrespectful at King James. Patrick Mahomes, insane. Don't even understand how this could be possible. I feel you, Pat. I feel you, Patty. JJ Watt, Hall of Famer himself. I can't be reading this right. This has to be some knockoff Hall of Famer or something. It can't be the actual NFL Hall of Fame. There is not a single world whatsoever in which Bill Belichick should not be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Jimmy Johnson, the good old GOAT himself, former Dallas Cowboy head coach. This is just wrong. Number 2, winning all time, more Super Bowls than anyone imaginable, number of divisional championships, a lot of small, jealous voters. I like that little jab at the end. A lot of small, jealous voters. The small adds just a slight jab, so that way whoever's behind the keyboard's like, "Oh, how dare you, Jimmy Johnson?" Who else came in? Cam Jordan, defensive end for the New Orleans Saints. Sometimes I scratch my head when a candidate gets in the Hall of Fame. This time I'm scratching my head on how a Hall of Fame candidate didn't to get in. Imagine that, Borba. He's just sitting there. I don't quite understand. That was a lot of us yesterday seeing this. Johnny Manziel, take it as you will. At Johnny Manziel, too. The disrespect is real. Vomit face. Ugh. Hate this, Borba. Don't like this at all. The only one that triggered you was the LeBron James one. What's up with that? Are we not liking LeBron anymore?
Uh, I don't know. What
Oh,
did I do? Are you trying to stir up some
nah,
controversy? LeBron's
as
top
on
20
as
all time. I'll say that.
top 20 is crazy. We won't go to
Yeah.
the NBA chatter just yet. We're not quite there yet. We got until February 8th before we switch over the hats to the NBA world. But damn, JB, that's the reaction across X
Which
right
is
now or
fair.
across Instagram. A lot of folks came and just feel kind of a lot of the sympathy that most of us do. You, on the other hand, feel to be like, did we just forget about Spygate? Are we just gonna pretend like that never
Maybe
happened?
that's I don't know why. I honestly don't know why he wouldn't be first ballot. I just don't understand that. But to argue against it, that's the only thing I could think of. Maybe some of the accusations. I don't know. For what happened to those Patriots, I don't know. I have no clue.
The only thing that I wonder is if it's true, right? I mean, if he's getting hung up because of the allegations, it's like it's an allegation. Are we gonna let allegations ruin everything? Not
I
to say
mean,
that some of the allegations that are being made aren't real. Here's Jay bringing this up. These are the finalists for this year.
who is it?
Let me pull
Can you
this
blow
up.
it up?
That's about as big as we can get it
I
here.
saw a Viking in there. Who was that?
Kevin Williams.
Oh yeah,
Let me read them to you.
yeah.
Willie
Defensive tackle.
Anderson.
Part of the
Yep.
William.
Willie Anderson, Drew Brees, Jaheir Evans, Larry
Where's the
Fitzgerald,
coach at?
Frank Gore, Torrey Holt, Luke Kuechly, Eli Manning, Terrell Suggs, Adam Vinatieri, Reggie Wayne, Kevin Williams, Jason Witten, Darren Woodson. Let's go. We got two Cowboys in this bad boy.
What about as
And
a
then
coach?
Marshall Yanda. Any coaches, Jay? Or this is the list. This is the list,
Let me
JB.
see.
This is the Pro Football Hall of Fame finalists. No coaches made it.
Oh yeah, you're right. He was the sole finalist. Yeah. So out of these guys, there's going to be like 7, I think, that make it. I think out of these 7, keep that graphic up.
I'll put that graphic back. Sorry.
Yeah, let's kind of talk about it because these guys are finalists. They're not in the Hall of Fame yet. They're finalists.
No, yeah, these are just finalists. Yeah.
So I think a for sure lock, probably Drew Brees, probably Fitzgerald. I feel like Luke Kuechly's a finalist. I think Terrell Suggs. That one's on the wall. That one's iffy. Who's that? Vinatieri?
Yeah, Adam Vinatieri here. Let me cover my face real quick.
He should be a.
This thing up a little bit.
He. I feel like he should make it.
Adam Vinatieri?
Yeah,
Super Bowl champ, multiple Super Bowl champ. A lot of the reasons they won those Super Bowls were because of him. If there's a kicker that ever gets in first ballot, it would be Adam Vinatieri. It kind of sets the stage for kickers if Adam Vinatieri doesn't get in.
I think 7 guys make it. Right. I think that's what it is. 5 or 7, I don't know. But I think
I won't be mad if
Fitzgerald.
If we wait on Eli a little bit.
No, yeah, I don't think he's first ballot. if
even Drew
Bill Belichick's not first ballot,
Brees.
if Bill Belichick's not first ballot, Eli's not. So Drew Brees, Fitzgerald, Luke Kuechly, Vinatieri,
I like that.
Maybe Willie
Reggie
Anderson,
Wayne,
because he's been on this list for a long time. Reggie Wayne, I don't know.
Jason Witten going to the Raiders might have hurt him, or maybe even going into the broadcast booth. That might have.
You can't say, yeah. If you're on the fence about Jason Witten, I think you're on the fence about Reggie Wayne. Kevin Williams, I think that one's on the fence. He was really good, but that's on the fence. Darren Woodson on the fence. Marshall Yanda was really good. Maybe Torrey Holt. Maybe it's time for Torrey Holt, and then Frank Gore. Maybe Frank Gore. I feel like he has a really good chance. Those
Frank
might
Gore?
be it.
Yeah.
Torrey Holt, Frank Gore, Larry Fitzgerald. That's crazy, dude. The players that we grew up watching are in the Hall of Fame now.
Are we old? Did it just sit in? It just feels like it kind of hits you right now.
All those players, Torrey Holt. Yeah, Torrey Holt. Some of those guys.
Even Reggie Wayne, man. Darren Woodson back in the day, what a crack. He liked to crack. That was fun.
As kids, like we collected something, we collected sports stuff. Like that was part of the collection.
Yeah. You open up the cards. You still do collecting of cards?
I don't know. I just have a bunch of like old classic stuff. I don't really collect anything anymore. Maybe I should.
I have like 3 or 4. I have 3 or 4 books. Maybe we should go through our books one of these days. That would be pretty cool. I mean, I'm sure we got some old heads up in there. Remember those old Topps cards? What were the other ones?
Yep.
I know Topps. I think Topps is still doing it. Yeah, man, what a good time. I remember those runs to Target, spending those $2.50 on a little bag, and
yeah.
Whew, I guess it is pretty cool. I do see people doing videos of opening up the little baggies,
Back
and
reveals.
sometimes I wouldn't say it necessarily grabs my attention, but it always kind of takes me back to being a kid and just sliding that card into the sleeve so that way it's perfect. It has no creases whatsoever. Like, damn, I'm gonna have to pull out my books. I do have them up in my attic, and maybe we just go through them for one of these. Maybe as we reminisce on the Super Bowl. It's gonna be a slow next 2 weeks. You got a couple of the Pro Bowl festivities happening this weekend, but it should be fun. We'll touch on a little bit more of that tomorrow. But for today, let's talk about what we came for, JB. That would be the New England Patriots. Let's go through a couple interviews that they had. Let's join their locker room and see what they got going on in that world. Let me just pull this up for us real quick. But overall, we're cool. I mean, Bill Belichick, we're just as confused as everybody else, right? Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, before I get to that, JB, let me just make a couple of announcements. Shout out the women because we care about them, baby. Caitlin Clark will make her sports media debut with NBC Sports. She'll be a special contributor during the start of the year. There hasn't been much details coming out on it, but you will see Caitlin Clark on your televisions here pretty soon. That's going to be cool. Caitlin Clark, one of the biggest, I would probably say, biggest icons in the WNBA. The reason why I got the WNBA League Pass, the reason why when one time JB came over and there was a Nuggies game, I think it was a playoff game, but the Fever were playing, and I had to switch it over to that Fever game. There was moments where I forgot that there was an NBA game going on, and JB's like, dude, come on. And I was like, come on, man, wait till there's a commercial. And
Yeah, that was
I think
trash.
that's when JB realized, like, what's going on with my buddy here. But I got two little girls, so I gotta support women's sports as much as I can. So I will be the plug in the women's world throughout the year as I can. Also, JB, there was another young lady. Damn it, I don't have the graphic. Another young lady, now the highest paid soccer player. Dennis Rodman's daughter,
Really?
Trinity Rodman, highest paid soccer player, making $2 million. Shout out to her. And the NWSL, the National Women's
NWA?
Soccer League. No, NWSL, bro. Have a little respect. The Trinity Rodman, one of the goats, one of the trios
Really?
of the soccer world. Yeah, bro. What are we
Really,
talking about?
chat.
Trinity
Hey,
Rodman's
let's
a dog.
everybody comment down if you know Trinity Rodman. Let's see how much we know.
Don't be disrespectful. Let me just let me give you a glimpse of who Trinity Rodman is, bro.
Yeah,
She
dude.
adds
Pull a
character.
video up.
She's a dog. I don't like the disrespect you're putting on my girl right now, bro. USA, USA, USA. She's gonna be the reason why we have continued success in the
Think
soccer
so?
world, bro. Yes, 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 yes. Sorry, I'm trying to prolong this a little bit while I pull this video up for you. Bro, Trinity Rodman, come on, the disrespect. I can't believe you. You don't know who this is for real?
No. Never heard of that name. I heard of Dennis Rodman's daughter. That's the only thing I've heard of. I don't know the
like
name
that.
behind it.
I don't like that. Well, this is his daughter, who's also engaged, I believe, or maybe just boyfriend girlfriend with what's his name, the tennis player. He's a stud in his own profession as well. What's his name? Damn, Jay, what's his name? Sheldon something. Well, this is her. She just played yesterday. Trinity Rodman got
You didn't play a video.
the coach. Emma Hayes. Here we go. Sexy days. What are we doing? Is it up? Can you see it, Borba?
I can see it. Play it.
Trinity Rodman. Here we go.
And here comes the celebration.
Where's the? I want to see her dribble the ball.
I don't want to get a copyright. I can't show you.
Oh
that.
my gosh.
This girl with the ball at her feet.
We
is
can
insane,
get no
Borba.
one's gonna copyright that this section of the show. I promise you, they won't copyright
Don't be a
that
hater.
part.
Don't be a hater.
They won't copyright it. No one's gonna watch it.
The NWSL. The NWSL.
I don't even know what the
National Women's Soccer-
NWSL is.
The disrespect, bro.
What
They
is it?
just paid her
National
$2
Women's
million.
Soccer League.
Yes, it's the main Premier League of women's soccer in the United States.
Is it really?
Yeah, the best soccer league in the world. the National Women's Soccer League. Have a little respect. Trina Ramen, one of the goats. Come on, bro. Come on, JB. We only get watched by like 12% of women. So why are we throwing shade at them? Come on, we gotta uplift them, JB. The glaze is real.
I'm the villain. I'm the villain.
Yeah, you're the bad guy in this situation. All right, let's go over this Pittsburgh. All right, let's go over to this New England world before we let these beautiful people go off to work. JB, what did I? There's two studs out there in New England right now.
Yeah, there's a
And
bunch of
Christian
studs on that
Gonzalez,
soccer field too.
There's Christian Gonzalez, who I found out is Colombian. So this is a colored brother.
Yep.
And his partner Carlton Davis, the third. JB, lowest passer rating allowed in coverage this postseason, minimum of 10 targets. These boys are balling over there. I love this Patriots defense. JB, I know I was like, I'm going to talk Borba into why we're going to go for the Patriots
I'm
this
already.
Super Bowl rather than the Seattle Seahawks.
I already
I was
got a
going to talk you
kickback.
into this.
I already have a kickback for this. I didn't even think about it because I know that you're trying to convince me to like give some hope to the Patriots. My kickback is look at who they've played and what's gone on. They played C.J. Stroud, who couldn't
No,
complete
we're
a
not going to
pass
do the easy
to these wide
schedule thing,
receivers.
really?
And then Jared Stidham. I mean, he completed like one pass on Marvin Mims that in the first quarter right there, that deep pass. Other than that, I think it skewed stats because of the weather too, in the Texans and then the Broncos game. I think you couldn't really CJ Stroud couldn't find anyone. Stidham didn't really do anything with his receivers either. So I think it's a skewed stat. But, they locked up kind of against the Chargers, who I don't think have a number one receiver at this point, who need to go to the draft and maybe hopefully try to draft a first round receiver. They tried to do that a couple years back with Johnston, and that hasn't really, the inconsistency still kind of there. So that one, for me, I think Christian Gonzalez, like he was an All Pro last year, I think, second team All Pro or something like that. But Carlton Davis, he's obviously jumped around a few teams, but he's had success. He's been to a Super Bowl before this with Brady, in the Bucks. So I don't mind the stat, but I think it's a little bit skewed from what the weather and then the quarterbacks that they've played. That's my only kickback on that. But they are good corners. They are good corners.
Well, you didn't even let me finish the thought.
I know.
I
had to get it.
Table for you. Like you got to let me try to talk you into it. You
I
can't
had
just
to.
off
I
the
had to
jump.
say that.
Nope. I'm done. Easiest schedule in the NFL. Don't even want to talk about it. This has been the easiest run of all time.
I didn't say that.
Regular season and postseason. That's
I didn't say that.
You sound like every ex user
I didn't say that
on Twitter right now.
I didn't say that. I didn't say it was the easiest run. I didn't say anything like that.
You said it's skewed because the weather and the quarterbacks they played, which you could one put together and be like, JB saying that this whole run is skewed right now. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit, JB. I am seeing a lot on X right now. A lot of folks are like, all right, hold on. Before I get into trying to sell you on the Patriots, it was tough. It was tough digging into the Patriots world, and this is the only reason why. These fans feel like they're just as delusional as Broncos fans and don't acknowledge the one thing that we see on TV. And it's like Drake May's crushing it. It's like, is he though? Like we can't say like I don't know that he's had an MVP like postseason, right? Whatsoever. We were just talking about it. What he's had. He has one of the worst passer ratings all time in playoff history, right? But my only thing with Patriot fans right now, it's like, can we just acknowledge that? Can we just acknowledge that? Like I told you on Monday, what I'm excited about this Patriots team is to see whether or not their offense is for real. Are they really legit? Is Drake May really the MVP that he's been propped up to be? Can he do that in the Super Bowl? Because we haven't necessarily seen that in this playoff run as Borba freezes. We haven't been able to necessarily seen how effective that offense can be in the postseason. I mean, if we look through it, right? So the first one they go against the Chargers, only put up 16 points, only give up 3. Weather wasn't terrible there, right, Jay? But then the weather gets, I mean, absolutely booty. They end up winning 28-16. But if I remember that game was 100% won by the defense. But shout out to Drake May being able to manage that game, especially in that bad weather. Even though he was trying to give it away with continuous fumble over fumble over fumble over fumble over fumble over fumble over fumble, but it seemed like Mike Vrabel got in his ear and said, "Hey, bud, how about?" Oh, my bad. Dang it. How about we take care of the ball? The ball is the program. And it seems like Drake May took his advice and cut that shit out. He fixed it. JB is struggling with a little bit of service, so we'll just grind along as we go. But then the 10-7 win over the Denver Broncos, that game didn't look great for me as well. So I'm just curious to know, JB, that was my question from the beginning, is I just wonder how this offense is going to look come Super Bowl, because we really haven't had a glimpse of it since the regular season. So is Drake May really exactly what everybody is propping him up to be? But as Patriots fans, all I ask is that we acknowledge the fact that we haven't seen that MVP type quarterback yet. I get you can give the pushback that he has been a game manager, which is kind of what you're asking for, especially because of the weather. But also, we have to acknowledge that that game against the Houston Texans, he almost gave it away. And you almost wonder, as a Patriot, if you're a Patriots hater, you almost think to yourself like, wow, if the weather wouldn't be what it was, would the Patriots be in this situation? And I think that's a fair question to ask. But ultimately, they beat whoever you put in front of them in the atmosphere that was present. And in their case, it's like they went to Denver and in their home field and put it on them. Was it with the backup quarterback? Yeah. But it's okay to acknowledge the fact that we haven't seen an MVP quarterback from the New England Patriots as of yet. But I am excited to see if we do see that. JB, let's listen into this video here. Maybe this will give you a little hug pull. Mike Vrabel, if you don't have something to root for, I'm starting to realize that just listening to Mike Vrabel speak is going to kind of give you a bit of a heart tug, JB. And let's listen into this one video here where he's being they say he doesn't remind him of Bill Belichick. He more reminds him of a Bill Parcells. Let's listen in.
Touchdowns you guys scored last year? The answer is not enough. That's it. There's one answer. Not enough. We got to score them. Get a little nervous right there when you see me in the hole? A little bit. Yeah, good answer.
You remind me of Bill as a head coach, but not Bill Belichick. You remind me of Bill Parcells. I played for Bill my rookie year, and the way that he interacted with players, I mean, we love him. And you say there's a professional side and a personal side. Why do you feel it's so important to reach him that way?
Well, I think it's just that's where they're at. You got to kind of meet them where they're at and then bring them along to where they need to get to. And I try to tell the team this. It's okay for us to have different personalities. We have to have one singular mentality about how we operate on the football field, how you act off the field, what your personality is. Whatever, I'm okay with that. How many touchdowns you guys scored last year? The answer is not enough. That's it. There's one answer. Not enough. We got to score them. Get a little nervous right there when you see me in the hole? A little bit. Yeah, good answer.
Oh, man. Mike Vrabel. Did they give you anything? Did you go like, damn, he kind of does look like Bill Parcells a little bit?
No.
Nothing.
But,
no movement. You like Mike Vrabel? What he's been able to do in New England?
yeah, absolutely. I think
Hiring the
Mike
perfect
Vrabel.
staff?
I think it's already proven that Mike Vrabel is a good coach, and I think this just elevates him into like that top 5 conversation of head coaches in the league. What he's done with this team in just 1 year, turning them around. It doesn't matter the circumstances. Like to say that this team made it because of bad weather or this and that. Like I think that's a lame excuse. I think that's lame. So you're saying your team isn't tough enough to play in the snow? That's what a lot of kickback is. Like, and you played in Denver in the AFC Championship game. And so I don't want to hear no excuse. Like, you play what's in front of you, at the end of the day. I've never been a big hater on like who you have in your schedule or anything like that, because you don't have control of that. You don't know. There's going to be teams that are in 4th place that have the 4th place schedule for next year. And some of those 4th place teams are going to be playoff contenders. They're going to be in the playoffs. You know, Patriots had a 4th place schedule, I believe, last for this year, and look at how far they went. But it also, I don't know. For me, I just don't take a lot of. I don't look into the schedule as much. Like, you play who's on your schedule. You got to perform no matter what. You got to perform in the playoffs no matter what to get to the goal. So for me, I've always liked Vrabel as a coach. It's just, yeah, I'm just basing what I'm saying off the matchup this week. But there's a lot
No,
of
yeah,
similar.
for sure.
Yeah, so I don't know. That's just my take, but that doesn't change me at all. But I think the type of coach that he is, he relates to the players, and he's no nonsense type of coach. So that's sometimes what you need, and that is kind of like Bill Parcells, back in the day. So you have that work relationship, and he's going to push you, and he's going to push you to be the best that you can be. But then you also have the personal side of it where he's personal with like the players as well. So
Yep,
I don't know.
and not only personal with the players, but the New England Patriots seem to be open arms about everybody right now, and it's like, hey, you like us? Come on in, baby. We want you to be a part of this pack, and a little celebrity is a part of the group now. You know, the Kansas City Chiefs had the Swifties, right? They bombarded Kansas City, made them the most watched team in the world. All of a sudden, we're high almighty on the Kansas City Chiefs. Well, guess what? New England Patriots have found a character of their own, and that character being what is it? Music phenom Cardi B. Cardi B, girlfriend of Stefan Diggs, baby mama, as she refers to him, baby daddy. So, baby mama of Stefan Diggs, this is her. They cut a quick little interview with her, JB. Let's listen in.
Cardi, you're going to the Super Bowl. What does it mean for the Pats?
The Pats is going to the Super Bowl. Stephon Diggs going to the Super Bowl.
One more win to be world champions. What do you think's going to happen?
In the name of the Lord. In the name of the Lord, in the name of Jesus. You believe in Jesus? Yeah, that's right. Believe in Jesus.
Cardi, what does it mean to be out here in Denver and watch Stephon go to work and all the boys?
It feels like we all we got, we all we need.
We all we got, we all we need. Cardi said it.
We all we got, we all we need. Cardi B just dropping bars. Doesn't that get you excited, JB? They got their own little pop star. Rah rah. Let's go Patriots. Are we digging it? We're all we got. We're
I
all
don't
we
mind
need.
it.
What a phrase from Cardi B. I'm
Yeah,
digging it.
I don't mind it at all, but it's not getting blown up like how Taylor Swift was, and I think there's reasons why. We
Why?
could make a left turn real quick.
Whoa.
I think it's because what her music is. I
Is
don't
this
think the
sponsored?
NFL. I don't think the NFL necessarily backs that up. And then you could even take it another step further by
Understanding which one? Well,
you could take it another step further by
whatever.
her. I don't know. I don't want to be. I'm not racist. I'm just saying. Like, I think that's why she's not getting the same type of publicity
She's
as a
black.
Taylor
You're
Swift.
hitting us with that one.
Yeah,
I mean, I think
that.
ultimately,
Maybe
I
what her
always think
music.
to bring.
Yeah, maybe what her music is, and maybe just that. I don't know. But she doesn't get the screen doesn't
Not
ever
getting the
cut out
plug.
to her.
She's not getting the plug. Yeah.
Yeah,
We need
yeah, it's
a couple more solo shots of Cardi B out there from the NFL.
crazy.
I,
Yeah.
I, I hate when people go to racism to try to defend some stuff, and I get it. Sometimes you have to, but in football, I really do hate it. But it is interesting why Cardi B isn't getting the same rub that Taylor Swift is getting. Why isn't she getting the same amount of television time? And I like it.
And
Some
it
of her
also could be,
reactions have been hilarious.
yeah, no, and it also could be of what the type of person that Diggs is off the field
Yep,
that we've
that's that.
seen.
I think that to me that's the first thing I point to. I'm like, all right, right now he's a part of some pretty massive allegations that have been pushed to be to find results until after the Super Bowl, that seems very fitting.
I think
That
that's what it
Robert
is.
Kraft might have a little bit to do with that, and then I do think that because of the type of music, the type of stuff that she does rap about, sing about. I do think that has an effect to it. That was my initial reaction on why maybe they're not propping her up as much as Taylor Swift is because of the
Oh,
genre of
100%.
music that she is pushing out, and then obviously the antics that Stefan Diggs is currently going going through right now, opposed to
100%.
Travis Kelce kind of having a clean slate. And obviously, Travis Kelce also at the time that all that was happening was having that whole media push with his podcast and whatnot. I don't know if podcast is in the works for Mr. Stephon Diggs, but it seems like he would rather not have a mic in his face. But just to get a little more sentimental, Stephon Diggs was asked about his relationship with Cardi B and his support from her, and this is what his reaction was. I do think we should praise this. This was pretty cool. Let's listen in.
I'm enjoying these post-game videos from Cardi. Her reactions to the Patriots winning. Are you enjoying those?
It's cool. I got to holler at her about one recently, but it's cool though. I just appreciate the support. She's been an amazing supporter of just me and the Patriots. She wasn't a football girl before I converted her over, but I'm just thankful to have her in my corner. She's an amazing woman, and continue to build that relationship. I don't talk too much about my personal life, but she's an amazing woman. I just appreciate her, and hopefully I can build on that and I guess watch that tree grow.
I guess watch that tree grow. This is what he also had to say about Mike Vrabel, his head coach.
When we lost to the Steelers and we lost a couple of those games early, it was easy to count us out and put us in that spot, and nobody believed in us. Our coach believed in us. He helped us build this identity that he speaks of. He held everybody to the same standard. I'm saying something I'm super thankful for. The camaraderie and the team chemistry that he's built from the coaching position, the head coach position, is second to none. Hopefully he wins Coach of the Year because probably the best coach I ever had. When we lost,
best coach I ever had. That did make me a little sentimental. I ain't gonna lie. When I first saw this, I thought, dang, man, you want to root for Diggs, but that stuff that he's being alleged for does make it tough. It does make it tough. We can't just look past that because that stuff is still looming and it's still waiting for some results. So I don't want to get too mushy about Stephon Diggs with those allegations being out there, but you can feel the passion coming out his voice. Obviously, you can hear he's getting a bit emotional. It seems like this Patriots team's they really do got they got a brotherhood going right now. And I think ultimately a team that likes each other wins with each other. And this team, everybody's kind of going against them. It's them against the world, as Cardi B said. It's us versus everyone. And that's exactly what it feels like. Nobody's giving this Patriots team a chance, including you, right? Anytime you see any type of matchup, you're thinking, no, Seahawks got every single spot covered, except for maybe the quarterback position, JP. That's the most important. What was your reaction to a couple of these videos we just played?
I think the reason why Diggs is emotional and talking to his coach, because I think they've probably talked. That looked like what he said. It just wasn't like cookie cutter. That looks like, okay, me and Vrabel and we've had some conversations. Whether that stems back all the way to when he first signed with the team, for things that have gone on lately in his life. I think they've had private conversations, and I think there's been positive things to take from that, because that didn't look like just something that you just say, like that could have been a cookie cutter response just for the media, but it looked deeper than that. So I think these guys have a deeper connection where Vrabel has helped Diggs in certain aspects of his life, So I think what he said right there, he truly did mean that. And I don't see why that he would not be, one of the best coaches, if not the best coach that he's ever had. So that's just the type of coach that Vrabel is, though. But yeah, I like it. I don't mind it.
Yeah, I mean,
go ahead.
There's Diggs' story is cool, right? Going all the way back to the Minneapolis Miracle. That was one of the biggest moments of your life. I got to experience that with you and our good friend Malcolm Wiggins from Richland. That was a cool experience. And then he leaves Minnesota, goes over to Buffalo, has a bunch of success. He kind of gets pointed as to the poison in the locker room, gets shipped out, goes over to Houston, tears his ACL. After having a little bit of success with CJ Stroud, it seemed like the Houston Texans offense was on the up and up. And obviously, we've seen the difference in the offense over there in Houston since then, but then goes over to New England with a second chance after people just continuously told him that he's washed. That's all you ever saw in the media for quite some time was this guy's washed. And then for him to be able to go into a team that embraces him, embraces exactly who he is, and now they're here on the biggest stage in the football league, in the National Football League, and that's the Super Bowl. And now they have a chance to win. So shout out to the New England Patriots. As JB gets connected, it's okay. We are ending the show. It's 8:07. I appreciate you guys rocking with us. We'll be back tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. We'll go into the Seattle Seahawks locker room and see how emotional we can get over there. Shout out to Jay, the producer in the back. And there's a lot of stuff that we covered. We covered it from the beginning of the show. Big Mike McCarthy's hire. Joe reacting to Joe Brady's hire. Bill Belichick not making the Hall of Fame. That's absurd. We shouted out Trinity Rodman in the National Women's Soccer League. We're going to get into that just a little bit. That's pretty cool. And then obviously ended it getting emotional about the New England Patriots. Can they win the Super Bowl? Again, we have a phone line that you can use, 575-808-9307. But if you don't want to use it, hit a like, hit a subscribe, and slap us with the share and dance around like you just don't care. We'll see you tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Shout out PMS. See ya.